And the onslaught continues. We're only at the start of 2024 and we've already had some pretty epic motorcycle launches, and this one is no exception. Meet the 2024 Husqvarna Svartpilen, which finally comes to India in the 401 trim. Now, one of the main reasons why the Husqvarna twin, the 250s, when they were launched in India, did not do as well was mainly down to the fact that they had pretty tall seat heights, and as beautiful as they looked, they were really small, really compact, which was always going to be a problem, especially in a country like ours, which is obsessed with big looking motorcycles. And that's exactly what Husqvarna have tried to fix with the 401, because this finally gets upgraded to the new 390 Duke platform. So as you can see, the motorcycle is visibly much bigger. The first thing that catches your eye is of course the new neoclassical round headlamp, which you have seen before, but this is much bigger. You have spoke wheels 17 inches and you have these chunky dual purpose Pirelli Scorpion Rally STR tires, which give it the big bike look. The tank is also much bigger now, up from 9.5 to 13.5 liters. But the seat height is luckily much more approachable now at 820 millimeters. Now, having upgraded to the platform, it also means that you get more ground clearance, 177 millimeters. And the motorcycle, despite its bigger size now, still weighs in at only 171.2 kgs wet. And as this is based on the Duke 390, so you get the same frame, you get the same banana swing arm, you get the same offset motor shock. Even the suspension, the WP Apex suspension is exactly the same, which is adjustable, comes with compression and rebound damping at the front, and rebound and preload at the back. You have the same amount of suspension travel. And the heart of it all is of course the new 399cc engine from the Duke, which makes the same 46 PS, 39 Nm of torque. And to help you put it down in a safe manner, you also get electronic aids in the form of adjustable traction control. You have dual channel ABS, including a supermoto ABS mode, which you have always seen on the Dukes. You get a bi-directional quick shifter. You get a USB Type-C charger. You have this really nice 5-inch TFT display, but the layout is different from the Duke 390. But what you don't get is an IMU, so the traction control and the ABS are not lean sensitive. You only have one riding mode. And yeah, that's the Svartpilen 401 for you on paper. So I think it's high time we stop talking and see what this baby can do on the road. As soon as you swing your leg over, from the onset, what is a proper showstopper is of course this new 399cc engine, which I first experienced on the new Duke 390. And man, the torque band is so wide now. The low and mid-range are a lot stronger, but also up top, it is ridiculously entertaining. Always up to play ball if you're in a mood for mayhem. In the places like in the city where you cannot really have the freedom to explore all of their power, it is still a lot more settled, a lot calmer, a lot more refined. Insanely tractable, because now in the city it will pull cleanly from as low as 25 kilometers an hour, even in the third gear. The buzz does creep in around 6,500 RPM, just like on the Duke. But again, here it doesn't really get in your way, because especially in the 5th and 6th gear, it's not as intrusive, and you can easily cruise on this on the highway at around 135 to 140 kilometers an hour with the engine still nice and calm. Also the quick shifter, man, this was the one complaint I had with the Duke 390. Was on full gas it was very smooth, very slick, but at partial openings it was not as smooth. Even that now seems to have been rectified on the Husky. And the same engine works I feel so much better in this setup, because on the Duke 390 I felt, as good as that machine was, it was a little too cramped for taller riders and the seat was on the harder side. But on the 401 now, all those problems have disappeared because the ergonomics of this are pretty much spot on for my 5'11" frame. It's a very nice neutral riding position. The seat, as you can see, is long, flat and wide. There's ample room for me to move around, which makes the saddle a very comfortable position to be in. And then, of course, to complement that, you have the exceptional ride quality. This is the same suspension setup as on the Duke 390, but then because you have spoke wheels now, I think they have a little more give, which is why I felt that the ride quality on this was maybe a little more supple, because it was just absorbing all the bumps and undulations so much better. And that's the thing, because they are adjustable, it only takes a few clicks to transform this into a proper beast, even when you hit the canyons. So I knew about the frame being really good, really communicative, but I did not expect this same comfortable riding position to also work so well in corners. And the same goes for the tires. I did not expect these H-rated Pirelli dual-purpose tires to work so well in corners. In fact, the only place where I felt that they lacked grip was under hard braking. This gets the same componentry from the Duke 390. You have sintered brake pads, you have 4-pot caliper, you have steel-braided lines, so you have phenomenal bite. As long as you're progressive with the brakes, you can pull off some amazing stoppies. But during emergency situations, if you're really hard on the brakes, that's when I feel the tire doesn't have enough grip to put all that stopping power down and ends up triggering the ABS, which then means that your braking distance only gets longer. The only other drawback I could point out was the spoke wheels. Now, first and foremost, let's set the record straight. They call it a scrambler, but it's really not a scrambler. You only have a 17-inch front. You don't have enough suspension travel. You don't have enough ground clearance. Even the ergonomics when you stand up are not really ideal to go off-road. And that is okay, because the bike in this avatar looks absolutely smashing. The problem with the spoke wheels are that they are not tubeless. So even though the motorcycle actually has the potential to be a decent tourer, especially now with the slightly bigger 13.5 litre fuel tank, I would be a little bit apprehensive to go touring on this because of those wheels. Because yeah, the fact that you'll have to remove the entire wheel, the tire to fix a puncture doesn't sound great, especially the fact that you don't even get a main stand. But this is where I also see a lot of potential for Bajaj to do more with the Husqvarna brand in terms of offering accessories. I know they do so for KTM with the power parts, but they don't really push them as much. With Husqvarna, that's a really nice opening in terms of alloy wheels for the Svartpilen. For those people who want to take this touring, even taller handlebars, which would transform what is already one of the most well-rounded motorcycles from the Vijayan KTM stable in the form of the Svartpilen 401. Yes, in terms of safety, you are missing out on the cornering function for the ABS and traction control, but honestly, as long as you're okay braking in a straight line rather than trail braking into a corner, I think you should be all right. And that makes the 18,000 rupees that you're saving on the Svartpilen over the Duke 390 that much more palatable, because then you have a little more money left for accessorizing it as per your requirements. And yeah, having a motorcycle which looks absolutely smashing and completely different from anything else that's out there in the market.